Against the Ropes podcast.
Back against the ropes. He's desperately trying to
There's
cover
ropes,
up.
number one.
Ali won't extend himself while Lyles against the ropes. But Ali still tries.
And we are live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Gio Garcia here, alongside Christian Mosqueda, number 99. Chris,
Damn,
we're back.
99, we back.
Yes, sir. We're tuned in to the fights right now live. It seems like Dogbo just won by stoppage, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of have it here in the background, but yeah, we're back. Took a little break. Been working
For real.
been making moves, so.
Need a little break, just a little breather.
Yeah, we gave them too many episodes,
We
man, in
did.
1 month.
Yeah, we gave him top rank too much promotion, man. Gotta let them miss us. But yeah, we're back. Another top rank card. Like you said, Dogbo just got that stoppage. It's a good bounce back win for him. I don't want to say he got discounted, but he took the two big losses of his career to Navarrete, and then Navarrete just kind of took over the attention. It went on to fight like 5 times a year, and he's just like the name of that division. So it's a good little bounce back win for Dogbo.
Yeah. 100%, I agree with that. Obviously, the 2 losses against Navarrete, right, make his record look not as good, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's bouncing back. I believe this was an 8-round fight.
Yeah.
8-round fight, if I'm not mistaken. Wrote some stuff down here, but we'll get to it in a little bit. Yeah, that's Top Rank on ESPN. If you guys are tuned in live, obviously the headline is Oscar Valdez, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against Jason Velez. Valdez, who joined the Canelo team, man, and there's a lot of fights in that weight division, Chris.
Yeah.
We'll get to it in a little bit, right?
We'll jump into it.
Yeah,
We'll jump into
it because we do have a lot of topics for you guys. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of fights that are supposed to happen, right? A lot of them are TBD, including Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including Vasil Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez,
Yep.
right? Still TBD. And other topics, Jamel Herring still failing COVID tests.
Yeah, he had that funny little tweet out there. But
Entanglement.
Yeah. Entanglement, yep.
Yeah, and Big Baby Miller. I don't think we've talked about it.
We haven't.
Still failing PED tests.
Yeah, and it seems like this one could be that nail in the coffin for him.
Be it?
We'll get into that as
Yeah,
well.
we'll talk about it. I don't think we've discussed it yet. And of course, Vergil Ortiz Jr. returning this Friday, July 24th on DAZN.
Damn. And that's a stacked card. Very competitive card. Big names on that card. So, yeah, I can't wait for that one this Saturday. So, yeah, let's jump into it, bro.
Jump into it. Let's jump into the bubble fights real quick because they are going on and they are live. Like we said, Isaac Dogbo. Isaac was 20-2 with 14 knockouts, right? Obviously, the 2 losses against Navarrete, right? No shame in that.
No shame in that, especially with everything that Navarrete has done thus far.
You're losing against one of the top pound-for-pound fighters, in my opinion, in Navarrete. I think he deserves that credit now, especially with what he did last year.
Yeah.
What was it? 5 fights?
5 fights,
5 title
5
defenses. A lot of people can say, oh, he wasn't fighting top names or this and that, but that's still 5 fights you got to win.
Yeah.
5 fights you can't slip up in, right?
That's 5 different styles, 5 different type of fighters. Yeah, and they're all hungry.
Definitely.
They're all hungry for that shot.
And Dogbo, going back to Dogbo, his notable win was against Jesse Magdaleno.
Yeah.
So Dogbo's a good fighter, right? I think he just faced a better fighter in Navarrete at the time, and Dogbo's trying to come back, and we saw he just got another W, so he's on the right path. Obviously, these fights, you know, at the bubble, at the MGM, a lot of people are criticizing them because they're not quote unquote top level fights, right? It's clear who the A side is, and who's the B side. But I mean, my opinion is, let's just be happy that we're seeing some fights, right?
Yeah, 2 months ago we had nothing. We would have paid to see the two guys in the corner fight. You know, so it's like, of course we want quality, and you know we're gonna get a little speck of that this Saturday in that Golden Boy card. But
yeah, finally they're back.
Yeah, finally they're back. So yeah, and I mean we'll be honest. We'll call it how it is. If it's a competitive fight, competitive card. We'll say it. If it's not, then we'll be like, you know what, it's C, B level card. But you know, let's just be happy that we have boxing back for now.
But on paper, the Golden Boy card is supposed to be a really good one, right? And we'll get into it a little bit before. I just want to talk about a little bit about the rest of the undercard for this. These fights at the bubble. We have Edgar Berlanga, who's 13-0. Have you heard about this guy?
A little bit, not too much.
Last I heard is he has 13 first-round KOs. So 13-0. He's been knocking everybody out. He's gonna be on the undercard coming up soon, I believe. I just turned it on, so I don't know who fought before this. There's a women's fight as well. I've been trying to get more into women's boxing, little by little, right? But there's two undefeated fighters. Kim Clavel, 11-0 against Natalie Gonzalez, 6-0. Women's boxing. All right. Like I said, I'm trying to get a little bit more into it. For some reason or another, I've never really watched it, but I'm trying to make an effort to watch more fights. Cobra
Ruiz, the one that got you like, okay, fight.
Yeah, I think there's two women's boxers who I'm really gonna follow, and one of them is Cobra, like you mentioned. Another one is Right Hook Roxy when she turns pro. Right, and we're probably gonna have her soon on the show. We've been in contact with Mama G, and they have some announcements as well for Alan Garcia, who's gonna make his pro debut soon. So
there we go.
That should be interesting. But we'll get to that toward the end of the show, and we'll get all our shout outs out. But talking about women's boxing, did you watch the Michaela Mayer fight?
I saw a little bit of it, and so I saw she stuck to the game plan. You know, she was just outboxing her opponent. Her opponent was a little bit older, seasoned vet. She's been up for title shots, but never in the caliber of a fighter with like Michaela Mayer. So it was a good fight, solid fight. I know Michaela was a little bit she was a little tough on herself after the fight. I thought she did well.
As you should.
Yeah,
right?
as you should.
If you want to be one of the top fighters in the world, you should be tough on yourself.
I know they were talking about her relationship with her coach. A lot, and so like the first thing she said, and on the post-fight interview was like, "Oh, I know my coach is gonna say that I could have done better here," and he couldn't make the fight right because he tested positive for COVID, which she finally got over because that's the reason why she couldn't headline that's the reason why she wasn't on the card before, because of positive tests. But solid performance. I want to see her up against a little bit top tier opponents down the line. To a lot of people, she's like maybe a fresh face in boxing, but I like her though. I like her. But she's good. She's in her late 20s. I think it's time for her just to let's put her up for contention with the best in her division.
Definitely, I like her. I like Michaela Mayer. I enjoy the fight. Like I said, she took her time. She didn't do anything too crazy, but she dominated. She won most of the rounds. So, I'm trying to keep up with women's boxing. And there's another one too. Sinesa Estrada's fighting right on Friday. And you want to start talking about that fight then? Because I don't know if I have more on this particular card at the bubble. Let's see who's up here next. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Rodriguez.
But Oscar Valdez, 27-0, 21 KOs. He's going up against Jason Velez, 29-6, 1 draw, 21 knockouts. Velez is a familiar name. Obviously in the world of boxing. 32 years old, from Caguas, Puerto Rico. Notable fights. He has a draw against Evgeny Gradovich, the Mexican Russian. He has a loss against Jojo Diaz. He beat Juanma Lopez and more recently lost to Ryan Garcia.
Oh, okay. See, these are these fights where you think you assume that Oscar Valdez should win this one, but these are those fights that are actually a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, he's fighting a veteran.
Yeah, Valdez has been in there with some good fighters, and it just takes one night, one good night, one off night for the favorite for you to just for you to have the night of your life. And I feel like this one might be a little bit closer than a lot of people think. Oscar Valdez was in a fight not too long ago where someone had to replace his previous opponent, and that guy dropped him. So that kind of tells you, like,
Adam Lopez.
Yeah, there you go.
Who won recently fighting at the
Bounce
bubble.
back fight. Yeah, that just shows you, like, nobody is invincible. It could be anybody's night on any given night. You just have to seize the moment and catch fire. So I think this is gonna be a lot closer fight than.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
You think he'll pull it off?
I'm not sure if he'll
prediction here.
I'm not sure if he'll pull it off, but I feel like we might be having some nervousness come the scorecards. I think it's gonna be one of those fights.
Oscar Valdez is an interesting fighter. Obviously, he's switched trainers. He's now part of the Canelo team. One of the things we want to see more from him is defense more so than offense. We know he's an offensive fighter.
Yeah.
We know he can put punches together. Can he defend, though? Right?
Yeah.
He got his jaw broken
Scott Quigg.
earlier.
Yeah.
Right? That's not the type of fights that we want to see. Obviously, the fans enjoy it. But
Yeah.
how long is your career going to last if you keep going through that? Right.
And Oscar Valdez is one of those hard fighters where, like, that heart might make you want to, exchange leather and stuff. But, I mean, we have to face up boxing in Canelo that shows you could still be entertaining while showing some defense, and so.
Yeah, so that's the question. Can he avoid punches?
Yeah.
Especially if the rumors are true that they want to make it happen. Oscar Valdez against Miguel
Berchelt.
El Alacrán Berchelt, right? And I
that's-
see your face right now, Chris.
That's just like,
What does that mean?
that's just one of those fights. Like a boxing purist just knows that that's one of those fights. Miguel Berchelt is just an exceptional fighter, and one that's not on people's radars because people don't want to face him. But then you
He's
got
a monster.
But then you get a fighter like Oscar Valdez that will fight anybody.
Yeah.
He jumps into Miguel Berchelt's division, and he's like, "I'm here to take that fight." And
Now, Berchelt against any of the top 130 fighters, even 135 would, if he decides to move up, to me is an intriguing fight. Someone who moved up recently was Shakur Stevenson.
Yep.
Right? And he's been saying that he wants the top dogs, he wants Leo Santa Cruz, and he even mentioned Berchelt. Now the question is it too soon for Shakur Stevenson to want to get into the ring against someone like Berchelt?
I'm gonna say it is too soon. Not necessarily based on his skill set. I think he's very skilled. I think his maturity set. I think a lot of people gave him so much praise. Andre Ward, Tim Bradley, they gave this, Shakur Stevenson a lot of praise, and rightfully so based on the skill set that he has. But then you see his social media. I don't know if you follow his social media. He puts a lot of posts that are very. I know you
Adrian Broner like?
Not like, let's not go that far, but yeah. But early signs of Adrian oh my God, can he?
I mean, we saw the video, right? That Top Rank has since in a way, what's the word that you can say?
I just unfollowed
Censored.
I just unfollowed Adrian Broner over the weekend because of that, his social media
really?
and stuff. Yeah, I was like, bro.
Oh man.
But
yeah, he's been a little off. Huh? He's been Kanye like.
Yeah, he's been kind of like he's always been a little off, but he's been Kanye like.
Yeah. A little extra.
So yeah, back to Shakur. I think it's a little, he's young.
Yeah.
He's young, and I think he should take his time to tackle these top dogs. I mean, it just shows that he does believe in his skills. He does believe that he can take him. He probably could.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, you probably could give him a competitive fight. I'm not sure if it's the smartest choice right now. He's in his early 20s. Like, he's got, the boxing world in front of him.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree 100%. You said there's no question about his skill.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that. Part of the young age is not only the mental part, but the physical part. I don't think he's reached his full potential as far as physicality.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to keep moving up in weight, getting stronger and stronger. Now it seems like an early move up to 130. And I think Andre Ward and his advisors are going to tell him, slow down a
Slow
little
it
bit.
down.
You know, let's
Slow it down, young man. Like,
one fight at a time, as they should.
yeah.
As they should. You know, the quote unquote boxing fan just wants these young fighters to jump in there
Yeah.
against the lions, right? But that's not always the smartest thing to do, right? Not everyone is a Lomachenko who can contend for a title in a second or third fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we're talking about a two-time Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah. And Lomachenko was already older in
Yeah,
his
he
late
was
20s.
older,
Yeah.
mid-20s when he turned pro. So I think definitely a guy like Shakur should take his time, despite of the criticism of the quote-unquote boxing fan.
Yeah. And we see this from the young fighters, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Shakur. That's that fiery, that fiery young, maybe at times naive but brave, you know, notion to want to tackle the big dogs in that division. But you know what? It's like boxing is yours. Just, you know, chill. As much as we want to see the big fights, they're gonna come. Just take your time with it. A lot of people do it for clout, for that marketing, but I don't know. I'm sure like De La Hoya, you know, maybe advises Ryan the way Andre for sure, Tim advised Shakur. Maybe they'll just tell him, take your time.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ryan, right? So before we get into the DAZN card this Friday, let's talk about Ryan a little bit, because I believe he was put into 2 mandatory fights. One of them was against Luke Campbell.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a fight he should take now, Luke Campbell?
That's a good fight. That's a much safer fight, I would say, than Linares. That's a much more winnable fight than again the aforementioned Linares.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Luke
does
defeat Campbell, right?
Yeah. So Luke does have his advantages. You know, he's lengthy, the good reach, the height, but I don't think Luke has ever, you know, really done. He's never crossed over that hump where he has like that notable win. Under
You're
his
right.
belt.
You're right. But if you're British, you think he has, right? You know how
If
the
you're-
British media is. You know how I feel like. You know how I feel about the British media.
Yeah.
They're putting him up here, and they're saying Ryan will lose to Campbell, right? I'm pretty sure that's a sentiment in the UK, saying Ryan's not ready for Campbell. Do you think he's ready for a guy like Luke Campbell?
I think it's gonna be I don't think it's a walk in the park for Ryan. I think it's gonna be a very tough fight for sure. Is it win? I think it is winnable. I think Ryan can, you know, hurt him, can win either by knockout or the decision.
Rodriguez just got a knockout. Sorry to interrupt you, Chris, but yeah, him along with Berlanga, they had that fame of getting these big knockouts, right?
Yeah.
And I just saw his opponent went down, and
Let's wait for that replay. We'll put it on.
yeah, because
Okay, I gotta see this.
let's wait and see if his opponent is okay here.
We see Stitch there. Shout out to Stitch.
Shout out to Stitch, man.
Stitch, man, putting
Good
in,
guy.
putting in work. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, Luke Campbell, I believe he's a tougher opponent than Linares. Believe it or
really?
not, as we're looking here at the straight left down the middle to the chin through the guard,
Yeah,
really.
that's right, Paul.
Very good,
Sure.
accurate punch there.
Nice.
I think Linares is a better or a tougher test for Ryan.
Okay.
I say that because obviously Linares has been in there against better competition than Luke Campbell. They both lost to Lomachenko,
Yeah.
but I think Linares just has more experience. However, Luke Campbell does have that youth on his side,
Okay.
and he has tasted defeat.
Mm-hmm.
I believe fighters do become better when they taste defeat against good opposition,
Yeah.
against a top opposition.
Top. Yeah.
So that's a good question, and it's tough to say who's the tougher opponent. I believe Luke Campbell's maybe. I don't know. I'm 50-50 between him and Linares, who's the tougher opponent
for
for
me,
Ryan right now.
I would say tougher. Shoot, Dan, now you got me thinking, bro. Because
I know I don't even know what I said now. I'm like in my
So-
head, I'm like going back and forth.
I was thinking Linares. But then it's like Linares got ran through by our boy.
Pablo Cesar Cano,
Uh-huh.
who's bigger, who's about Ryan's size.
Yeah.
Pablo Cesar Cano is about Ryan's size.
Yeah.
Ryan is not a small 135.
He's not. He's a tall boy. He just has like a.
And Cano is not a small 140 either.
Mhm.
You know, but they're about the same size, him and Ryan, I would
Yeah.
say.
I would say that's the only difference that Leonard has been ran through. So that kind of hurts your mental side somewhat. Luke Campbell, like you said, young.
Yeah.
You know, he got lost, but you know, he as a young person, you're like, you know what, I still got plenty of time to learn from this, and I still got all my facilities. Like I'm young, I'm fresh.
Do we take Ryan in that fight? That's the question. Against Campbell.
That's a tough one because I expect Ryan to win, but then it's like that's one of those where Campbell can notch the green fighter, right? Where he can.
Yeah.
So I put my money on Ryan. It's hard to put money against Ryan.
I think he stops Campbell.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
Possible.
And we can talk about it more in upcoming shows if the fight does come to fruition.
Yeah.
Right. As of now, it's still in the works. Right. Nothing official. But next question is, who would take a punch better? Who would take a Ryan punch better, Linares or Campbell?
I think Campbell.
Yeah, you think so?
Campbell. Yeah. We've seen Linares on the floor more often than Campbell.
So I've now said that Ryan will stop Campbell, and I believe he stops Linares as well.
I think he stops Linares faster than Campbell.
You think so?
Because speed and timing is everything,
Yeah.
and then as you get older, the reflexes slightly go. You know, they go. So
Yeah,
Linares is the
it's
aging
tough,
fighter.
man. It's tough because to me, Jorge Linares is a little wittier. He has that
Whitaker,
experience.
Yeah, he's got that.
I feel like he'll be able to avoid the punches a little better.
Yeah.
But like you said, we have seen him stopped before,
Yeah.
knocked out, hurt. We've seen him get stopped against Lomachenko, a smaller fighter.
Yeah.
He hurt him to the body. So, yeah, I think those two fights are favorable for Ryan. I don't think they're easy fights, but I do think that if he beats either Jorge Linares or Luke Campbell, that some people will start putting more respect on his name.
Yeah. That's been it. He's been missing, those named fighters, but then again, he's 21, 22. I mean, you're not supposed to have those named fighters that soon. Only certain fighters, Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya have names, that soon. But yeah, so it's a lot of people are impatient with him just because of his platform. He's known, the hate,
If he had the 5 million whatever Instagram followers, do you think he would get that much hate?
I don't think so.
Let's say he had 700,000. You
I
don't think he
so.
would get that much hate?
Because not a lot of people would know him. But it's the fact that the more people know you, obviously you're gonna.
It's interesting. I don't know. I like to get behind the mind state of those people who
hate.
just dislike him. Right. Never met him. I mean, it's not like he's fighting quote unquote bums or tomato cans.
Yeah.
I mean, his last couple fights were very good knockouts against respectable opponents.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with Ryan. He was supposed to fight July 4th. Word is he didn't take the fight because of the money or this and that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's move on to another golden boy prospect. Even now, I don't know if it's too soon to say title contender.
I think so.
Oscar dubbed him as the future of boxing.
Yeah.
Right?
Before we get into, I feel like Oscar's got like his two boys, and it's like, man, this is a good one. This is like the little troublemaker.
Oscar's in a very good position.
He is.
He has a future of boxing, in my opinion, in Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
However you want to look at it. If you want to look at inside the ring, if you don't like Ryan Garcia, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to look at everything inside the ring, if you want to look at dedication and discipline, skill, monster, that's Virgil Ortiz, right?
Yeah.
If you want to look at it from the business perspective, marketing, Ryan is your man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So with those two, I think Golden Boy is pretty solid right now.
Yeah. Can't lose those two, man. Like you said it best, bro. Like he's got the one that, he's a little rebellious, but he's got something. And then you got the one that's like a sure thing, and he's just calm. Obviously outside the ring, but inside the ring, this guy's a beast.
Yeah, we got Derek checking in. He said, yo, bro, knocked it out. Yeah, we were able to catch it real quick. We have it here in the background. And I just saw the guy was down, and he was just kind of staring into space. So I was a little worried for him for a second, but he got up and hopefully he's okay, right?
Yep.
As the fights continue there at the MGM Grand, the bubble, right? You know what? Before we move on to Vergil Ortiz Jr., I want to send a shout out and congratulations to Gabriel Morataya Jr.,
Yeah.
El Maestro, right? Who won a few weeks ago now. He made his comeback to the bubble ESPN, and he got another W this time by unanimous decision. But man, great to see that he's getting all these big opportunities.
Dude, the first fight on Top Rank, he just brought the syllabus, man. This was like the first. This was the. Dude, we've been having so much fun, like with the teacher, like. Man, this is the first. This is the first session.
The first session.
But yeah, shout out to Gabe, dude, cool dude,
Yeah.
awesome dude. He's got skills inside the ring. He's got skills outside the ring, teaching these kids, man. Their ABCs, their 1, 2, 3s.
We'll get him on the podcast soon.
Now he's gonna show them the 1, 2s.
1, 2s. Yeah, remember when he was talking about, I'm showing him my 1, 2, 3s. I'm like, those are not combinations, right? they're actual numbers.
Man.
Yeah, but he's a cool person.
Cool
and,
kid, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have him on soon. We were messaging him the night before his fight, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this W, and I'm gonna hop back on the podcast." So
Hey.
we'll get him back on
We'll get
soon.
him back on.
But yeah, we'll continue our shout outs later on. Let's see. Clyde, too busy watching boxing, but that's why I watch it. Y'all keep me up to date on the fight game. That's what's up.
That's what's up,
Shout out to
Clyde.
you, Clyde. How's everything going up there? But thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll continue here. Oh, the women's fight is going on here. This should be a good one. We'll try our best to multitask, right?
We're gonna be in and out. We're gonna be okay. Sure.
But yeah, let's move on to Virgil Ortiz this Friday against Samuel Vargas. Like we said, Top Rank has been busy. DAZN and Golden Boy, they're just coming back.
Yeah.
In between this whole pandemic. First show, and it looks like it's a very good one. Just to go through it real quick here, we'll get into detail on all of these fights. But Verge Ortiz Jr., the headline against Samuel Vargas. Verge Ortiz, 22 years old. 22 years old, man.
Dude, when you put that post, I was like, I can't believe he's still 22.
He was born in 1998.
Jesus. I'm all thinking he's like at least 23, 24, but not 22.
That is insane. 22 years old out of Dallas, Texas, 15-0, 15 knockouts, right? He's making a lot of noise in that welterweight division. He's fighting Samuel Vargas, who's another veteran from Bogota, Colombia. He actually lives in Canada.
Yeah.
I think he's lived most of his life in Canada, so Colombian-Canadian.
Colombian-Canadian.
Interesting. 31, 5-2, 14 knockouts to his name. Notable fights, he has a loss against Luis Colasso, loss against King Khan. Amir
King Kong.
Loss against Danny Garcia and loss against Spence Jr. So I'm saying that to say this should be another good test. Like we're talking about these veterans, in a way, gatekeepers, right? Virgil Ortiz is going to fight another one of these guys. Last time we saw him against a similar opponent, you can say, was Mauricio Herrera, right? Whom we all saw beat Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico.
Jab him to death.
Jab session.
But with Mauricio Herrera, he demolished him.
Yeah.
That was the undercard of Canelo Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
Dude, after that fight, I said, this guy I think he's ready for anybody. Virgil Ortiz Jr.
I think so.
To demolish a veteran like that,
that
was crazy.
It's one thing to beat a veteran, but when you make them look like
Nobody has stopped him before.
nobody has stopped them, and I hate to make this comparison, but when you
Here
make them look the way Danny Garcia made Eric Morales look, that beating up.
Clyde's about to get mad. You know, he's an all-time Danny Garcia hater.
He just made him destroyed him as an understatement. It was, I agree.
Derek says he's my age. I should be in the ring knocking people out.
Yeah, shout out to Derek for sure.
Yeah, and then Clyde says Herrera got dropped. I mean, he got robbed. I hate Garcia. I agree.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, man, they were not going to give him that decision. But that fight, man, dude, Herrera's one of those guys who would always surprise me. He wasn't the quickest. He wasn't the strongest.
He was just.
But somehow he would find a way. And in this fight against Danny Garcia, we all kind of saw him winning. But in the back of our minds, we kind of knew that they were not going to give him the fight winning Paulie Malignaggi style.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of knew it, even though we all would agree that he won that fight. Philly boys.
And Mauricio probably knows more Spanish than Danny, too.
Oh, my man, that was bad. But yeah, this should be a good test for Vergil Ortiz, who got 4 knockouts in 2019. Right?
Mm-hmm.
4 knockouts in 2019.
Yeah.
And one of them was against Mauricio Herrera. The other one was against, I believe, Orozco. Before the Solomon fight, I think his name was Orozco, and he demolished him as well.
And that was...
So, man, Virgil Ortiz is just creating a lot of noise right now in the welterweight division. Yeah,
Orozco's like this late 20s guy that's never, gotten that, over that hump, but he's still young, solid, bet. And, Virgil just kind of broke him down, 6th, 7th round. And Orozco was fighting well up until, like, those rounds. I think he even won, like, the first 2 rounds, and then Virgil just went into a different gear and just broke him down and stopped him. That was impressive.
And hopefully we could get him on the podcast soon, right? Virgil, who's going to fight. We know he's busy with a lot of interviews and stuff, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks we could get him on the podcast. Yeah. And one of the questions I do want to ask him is how soon does he want to get in the fight? Does he want to get in the ring against, the rumored, right? There's rumors out there, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence Jr., and how soon are they advising him to take those fights, right? Obviously with his father in his corner and Robert Garcia, who's been in the game for so long. Yeah. I'm wondering how soon do they want those fights, right? Yeah. Or do they want to wait a little bit until those guys age a little more? It's going to be interesting to see Virgil's career. Yeah.
If you had to pick an opponent for him of those welterweight names that we know, that everybody that follows boxing knows, who and at what age do you put him in?
You know what? A lot of people do not like Danny Garcia. Obviously, we see one here in the comment section.
Oh, okay.
Clyde. But I respect his power.
Yeah.
I respect his power. I believe his power is dangerous for anybody.
Amir Khan respects his power.
For sure.
Amir Khan respects everybody's.
But look, one of the things that made me respect his power a little more was when he fought. Obviously, he's knocked out a lot of guys. You mentioned Morales. I don't know why you would do such things. Disrespectful. Obviously, he hurt Amir Khan when Amir Khan was out boxing him. Yeah. But one of the things that made me really respect his power was when Keith Thurman fought him, and Keith Thurman said, I think Keith Thurman beat him. Yeah. Some people still go back and forth on that, but I do think Keith Thurman beat him. But Keith Thurman said after the fight, or I think he said this a couple months after the fight, this guy punched me in my shoulder, and I couldn't move my shoulder for a couple days.
Damn.
He said he punched me in the shoulders, and it hurt during the fight. But for the next few days, I couldn't move my arm because of that same punch.
That punch, damn.
So that made me realize this guy hits. Yeah.
Should have hit him in the shoulder more.
Right? Imagine he goes down from a shoulder shot.
Slip.
Shit. Oh, Derek says, would you put Ortiz in with Ugas? I would.
That's low risk.
I'm not too big on Ugas, honestly. I do think he's a very good boxer. Yeah. But I hate to say this, but I think his deficiency is he's your typical Cuban fighter who doesn't throw a lot of punches. Yeah. Right? People are still arguing about the Canelo Lara fight.
Damn, I was going to bring that up, yep.
But to me, you can't win a fight if you're fighting like Adrian Broner and not throwing punches.
No, Adrian Broner really doesn't throw punches. That guy really doesn't throw punches.
But I thought that's what happened with Ugas and Porter, even though that's very disputed. And I believe you think Ugas won, right?
Slightly, yeah.
Close fight, in my opinion, but when it's time to step on that gas pedal. Let's edit that out. But when it's time to step on that gas pedal, Ugas didn't do it. Yeah. He was in the ring trying to taunt Sean Porter, trying to do all these fancy things. And to me, Porter is just one of those guys. He's a dog. He's a hustler. He's all heart, right? So with a guy like Ugas, I think Vergil Ortiz would do good against him because a guy like Ugas allows you to think.
Okay.
He allows you to throw first, and you can't do that against a guy like Verge Ortiz with his power. So I think that's actually a good matchup for Verge Ortiz.
Oh, okay. I see why Derek brings that up. I think that's one of those style fights that could make Vergil maybe look a little young, maybe maybe not the best. But I agree. I think Vergil would still be too busy to, too on you to really, make it seem like Ugas did enough to win rounds.
Yeah, I think that's what happened against Herrera.
Okay.
Once Herrera got hurt, Mauricio Herrera against Vergil Ortiz, he was reluctant to throw punches.
Yeah.
He let him think. He let him come in, and that was just dangerous, man.
Yeah, I think like you brought up the Canelo Lara fight. That's a very, low reward but high risk in a way. I would say medium risk. But for Vergil, it's not a lot of people. Well, Ugas is like he doesn't have the name.
High risk, low reward.
Yeah,
you would call it.
Yeah.
And that was the Canelo fight, right? And I think
yeah.
that's why Oscar De La Hoya advised him not to take that fight.
Yeah.
And I was a little mad when he took the fight against Lara.
Because you're like, who's this guy? And
No, he was well known
in the boxing circles. Yes.
In the boxing circles, but at the same time, it was like, if you guys wait 2 or 3 years, you guys will probably make 5 times more money. Do you know how much they got paid for that fight?
How much?
I think Canelo made like 1.5 guaranteed.
It was low, yeah.
And Lara got 1 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
And if they wait 2 to 3 more years to make that fight, it would probably be a big pay-per-view fight depending on who you put on the undercard. And these guys will probably make 5 to 10 million. Yeah. Right? At least Canelo would in that fight. But he took that fight early. But I respect it because I feel like every fighter who has become a superstar has taken those type of fights.
Yeah, those
high risk, low reward type of fights. And I feel like that's what a lot of young fighters nowadays don't understand. Right? They want to make millions.
Yeah.
When they haven't made millions before.
Yeah. They want that low risk, high reward.
The Mayweather effect.
Yeah, the Mayweather effect.
Right? But let's go to Clyde. Let me interrupt you real quick. His arrogance and his fake machismo, and he don't even speak Spanish for Danny. Yeah, ooh. I can see that. I feel like a lot of hate was brought upon him by his father, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you see Danny, he's not that...
He's not that bad.
Sure, he can't speak Spanish, but he's cool. He's mellow. It's his dad that just like, oh, my son this, my son that. And then like, okay, Daddy, handle that.
Which we haven't heard about in a while, right?
Angel? Yeah, Angel's been kind of quiet, bro. It's a social media age, YouTube age, and he's been very, very quiet. Hopefully everything's okay with that. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. We wish him the best regardless. But yeah, going back to this Vergil Ortiz, do we want to give predictions now for the headline, or should we wait?
For Ortiz
and Vargas.
Let's do it. I was gonna ask you earlier, so let's do it.
Man, look, I want Vergil to keep his intact record. He's 15-0 right now, 15 knockouts. I hope he can get the knockout. I hope so.
Yeah.
We've seen Vargas lose to a lot of the top welterweights. And I think this will be a good statement for Vergil to make.
Yeah.
Right. There's been a lot of talks about, like we said, Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia. I feel like a lot of it has been the media kind of, trying to create a headline.
The narrative, yeah.
But I feel like with this fight, he can make a statement. Right. He can continue to put himself with those names, Errol Spence, attach himself to those names, Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia. Would I put him in there against those guys right now? Probably not. Wait maybe a year or two. But in this fight, I really hope he gets a knockout. And I think he'll get it. Yeah. I think he's hungry for it. A lot of these fighters, they've just been waiting for the opportunity amid this whole pandemic. Yeah. So I think he's going to be ready.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. I think he does get the knockout. I think he could get under 6. I think he lets it go a little bit longer, though. I mean, he's been... You don't think so? I think
I agree.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think he lets this fight go a little bit longer. I mean, these guys have been inactive since the pandemic for months on end now. So I think he's going to want to get some rounds in. I don't want to
Okay,
say he's gonna
okay.
carry. I don't want to say he's gonna carry, but I think he's gonna want to rust. Just take some of that ring rust off and get over 6 rounds. So
All right, Chris, let me see what's going on here, because it looks like they're taping this woman's braids, because I believe they came off or something. The referee interrupted the fight because the hair was flying, and they taped her little ponytail braids. Interesting. Yeah, this is the women's fight going on right now.
Man, it's squabbing
on ESPN, Top Rank at the Bubble. So far it seems like everything's been going well, right? It seems like it's pretty safe. They've had a couple people here and there test positive. Like we said, Jamel Herring is one of them. Yeah. Right? But man, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. It seems like everything else is going well. Yeah,
everything else. I mean, I think Top Rank has been like the one to set the example of how to go about this COVID thing. Obviously, they put on some, pretty, I would say, flawless shows. I mean, anybody that tests positive, they have to go home, unfortunately, with Herring, with Calamari, who had to do it on the previous show, but she was able to headline now. So it's, they're doing everything, to the T in a way. Sure,
sounds like it, yeah. From the people that we've spoken to, it sounds like everybody feels pretty safe. Yeah. So can't wait. I mean, I enjoy watching these Tuesday, Thursday shows. Saturdays as well. Obviously, we're not gonna get the quality every single time, but I mean, it's people's safety. It's like we mentioned on previous shows. It's giving, up and coming fighters that platform that they would have otherwise have never gotten. They would have never gotten this national television, exposure. We've got some surprises. You mentioned your fighter of the year candidate in Cassius Clay, MMA fighter, but he keeps impressing. He keeps surprising these undefeated prospects, and so. You know what? We would have never known about this guy if it wasn't for this opportunity. Fan-friendly style. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. But yeah, we're 43 minutes in, Chris. I know we wanted to keep this one a little short. Yeah. Just kind of talk about what's been going on in boxing and give people a little bit of updates. But let's move on here to Verge Ortiz. So we're going Verge Ortiz by knockout.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. What do you guys think? Hector Tanajara against Mercito Hesta.
That's a good
That's a good fight. Hector Tanajara, 23 years old, repping San Antonio, Texas, 19-0, and I have a problem with the next column here, the next stat, 5 knockouts. And we've talked about this before. Yeah. Chris, we've talked about it before. 19-0, 5 knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, it's either lack of power, it's a lack of going for the kill, knowing when and where to really start breaking your opponent down and taking them out. 5 knockouts. We talked about, I think we mentioned this with early on with our boy Arnold, yeah. Arnold Barboza. He didn't have a whole lot of knockouts early on.
Yeah, and we asked him that. We asked him that same question, and he clarified that he had a hand injury, I believe, and it was after he got hand surgery and it was all recovered that he started getting those knockouts. Yeah. Well, he got 3 in 1 year, I believe. He got the knockout against Mike Alvarado, the early knockout, and then he got one right after that at the LAFC stadium, the impressive shot to the body, right? But he's been racking up knockouts, whereas a guy like Tanajara, no knockouts in his last 7 fights. Yeah.
I was gonna say since we've met Arnold, we've known him as knocking fools out since we met.
And we told him that too, right? Like we were straight up with him. One of the things we're like, hey, you're not getting knockouts, but he told us, hey, my hand was messed up. It feels a lot better now, and he's been knocking people out ever since. So I'm taking that.
You even gave him like reasoning. The knockout of the year, right?
Yeah, I gave him the knockout of the year after that impressive body shot. Yeah, he had his guy on the ground rolling from that body shot, but when somebody says, oh, my hand is hurt, half the time you don't believe them, right? But then if they say, all right, my hand was hurt, it's recovered now, and he comes back with 3 knockouts in a row, you're like, okay. He has I guess he had a good reason. Yeah. Right. Tanajara, I don't know. Yeah. 5 knockouts.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if they're putting him, a lot of people wanted him to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is what, 20-0? 17 knockouts. 17 knockouts.
All but 3. All but 3 opponents have been.
17 knockouts, right?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, if you want to put yourself with guys like Ryan Garcia, with the, I don't want to call him a top dog in his division yet,
But a top puncher. Like,
but a top prospect, and like you said, top puncher, then you got to show it with knockouts, right?
Yeah.
What better way?
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that we're going to have to see. You say he hasn't gone knockouts in the last 7 fights, right?
7 fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek says
And
he
it's-
hasn't seen him fight yet.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can't knock every single person out, but you should knock out at least 50%.
Yeah, his last couple fights, from what I've seen, he's been dominating. He wins almost every round.
Yeah.
But like you said, is it a lack of stepping on that gas pedal?
Yeah. Because sometimes knockouts, yeah, you get them by being the power puncher, but sometimes you just get a knockout just because you're accumulation puncher. You're just way more skilled than the other opponent.
When was the last time you see Lomachenko knock a guy out with one punch?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, they stop it because like, oh, this guy's too good. He's too fast. He's too accurate. You know, he's not necessarily like landing that one knockout power, but it's just accumulation of talent, of skills. You know, that the ref punishment where the ref is like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like we've known fighters that don't have the biggest, you know, punch, but they have a lot of knockouts just because of you know, that skill set. But
going back to his opponent, Mercito Hesta, another veteran, right, out of the Philippines, 32-3, 17 knockouts, notable fights. He lost to Linares a couple years ago, and he's coming off a draw against Carlos Morales. So I think this should be an interesting fight.
Okay.
All right, Tanahara fighting a veteran now. Can he do enough to, you would think, get a decision at this point? Because I'm not going to predict a knockout.
This is tough. This is close. When I saw this card, I was like, okay, it's a young, up-and-coming, you know, fighter in Tanahara. You know, he's obviously with RGBA. He's surrounded by
golden boy prospect, right?
And then
they're building those guys up. And honestly, if you want to look at it, El Profesor Franco was probably at the bottom of that tier.
Yeah.
As far as who they were marketing and who they were putting as a co-main event.
Yeah.
You know, Virgil Ortiz and Tanahara, obviously Ryan Garcia, have all gotten a lot better promotion than a guy like Joshua Franco, right?
Just shows you they send him over to the top-ranked card, right? Instead of putting him...
I don't know if they would do that with a guy like Ryan or Virgil.
I don't think so.
Exactly. You know, and Joshua just got his title, which they're going to run it back. It seems like Maloney has exercised that rematch clause, and they're going to run it back. But Franco got that title, right? 13th champion for Robert Garcia. Insane. All right.
And that's a question I was going to ask. I was like, who? And it kind of slipped my mind. I was like, who's going to be Robert's 14th champion? That would have been a good question to sneak in there.
Yeah, but in my opinion, Tanahara's falling a little bit behind now. He's winning fights, 19-0, but 5 knockouts. I feel like he has to be a little bit more impressive, and this is a good test for him. If he doesn't get a knockout against Hesta, I mean, I'm not going to be mad at him, you know, because it's a good fight. But we all want to see knockouts, right?
Yeah,
we all like violence.
It's that urgency. It's that urgency in the knockouts. Knockout boosts your stock.
Yeah, that's the other fighter on the undercard. Shane Mosley Jr. is going to be fighting Jeremy Ramos. Shane Mosley Jr., man, we haven't seen him in a while, huh?
I reached out to him too, so we'll see if we get him on afterwards.
Interesting.
We've had his dad on. We've had his opponent on.
Interesting. And then Siniesa Estrada against Jackie Calvo on that undercard as well. So it looks like it's going to be pretty good fights, I hope. I don't know what DAZN did. I don't know if people already canceled their subscription or...
Javi messaged me. He's like, hey, I ordered DAZN. I know there's a big card coming up. I was like, okay,
there you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can never be mad at Golden Boy. For the most part, they're always putting some good cards, solid competitive cards.
Yeah, that's coming up this Friday, July 24th, DAZN. So tune in. I feel like it's going to be a pretty good card. One of the more solid cards on paper from what I've seen. Right. But, you know, I did want to talk about this fight. It's in August. This card, just real quickly, because one of the fights really intrigues me. Brentwood, England, at the Eddie Square Garden.
Eddie Square.
Hey, don't take my name, Eddie. That's what I just called it now. Eddie Square Garden. Dillian White against Alexander Povetkin for the PED interim title.
No.
Okay. It's for the WBC interim title, but... Both of these guys have been caught with PEDs, so we're going to kind of skip over that. The fight that I really wanted to talk about was Katie Taylor against Delphine Persoon.
Oh,
It was on that undercard.
Is that rematch? Okay.
Rematch. We thought Pursoon maybe pulled it off the first time around. Obviously, even in women's boxing, you're going to see that type of politics, right? We thought Delphine Pursoon did enough to win. I personally, when I watched it, I kind of had it in the background.
Yeah.
But every time I would look up, I saw Pursoon getting the better of Katie Taylor.
Yeah.
Now they're going to run it back, and I hope that Pursoon is ready for that challenge once again, right? Because this is a big opportunity. And hopefully, like I said, she can be ready. And if it's close on the scorecards, hopefully the judges do the right thing.
We've talked about this match in previous podcasts, and it's the same sentiments. We just felt that person her heart just did more. Like when you have an A versus a B fighter, you think of the A fighter's skill versus the B fighter's heart, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like, you know what, we're waiting for Katie Taylor's skill set to just kind of set her apart.
Yeah.
But what we noticed was that the heart of Pursoon, the volume of her will to win this fight, kind of just edged it, not by a whole lot, but just enough. And so we saw her break down after the fight. Most observers, you know, that are impartial and that are fair, saw her winning that fight. And when Katie's a darling of boxing. I mean, I don't think nobody, you know, there's nobody that doesn't like Katie. Yeah. You know, it's just. In this particular fight, it was Delphine Pursoon that's heart just kind of willed her just enough.
At least that's what we thought.
Yeah.
You know?
And so hopefully we get some justice to whoever wins this rematch. It could be the skill set of Kaylee, her heart of Katie, or maybe Delphine Pursoon pulls out something, you know. Yeah, it makes it clear to the observers. But I'm excited for that fight. That's one of those fights I was like, who is Delphine? I want to follow this woman.
I believe they said she was a police officer in Belgium. Right? Yeah, at the time. So
man. Hopefully she didn't take it out on people.
See, so here we are with the. Let me show you guys real quick. Let me see if I can show you. So that's enough before they copyright us. I don't know. YouTube's kind of. But 13 first round KO streak. So we're definitely gonna be tuned into this one. He's been knocking everybody out in the first round. Edgar Berlanga. So yeah, we definitely want to watch that fight. But Derek says here, please White lose. Yeah, I don't know. Dillian White is, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of his.
The consensus that I hear from him has been that he's just been not given that opportunity for that title belt. Which he's deserved for the longest time.
Yeah, but he failed some PED tests here and there. So I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. Just like I don't care about Big Baby Gerald Miller. Do you have any words on that? I don't think we've discussed it since.
We can. I mean, let's give him a minute's time. Whatever.
And this is probably the last time we're going to discuss Gerald Big Baby Miller. Shout out to Wesley West, who put a beer emoji there. Yeah. Hey, salute. So probably enjoying the fights there.
So for Big Baby Miller.
Big Baby Miller.
The first big time that he's gotten busted, I'm sure he's gotten busted before.
He's been busted since his kickboxing days.
Yep.
Like 2014, 2015. Yeah. Before boxing, he was already getting busted for PEDs.
Yeah. He got busted for the biggest opportunity of his life with Anthony
Threw away millions and millions of dollars.
Tens of millions. Life-changing money. You don't even have to win the fight. You just have to show up clean.
You just got to show up.
That's it.
And you get a paycheck.
That's it. You got to take a beating. This sport of boxing. Yeah, you want to win. Obviously, it's the biggest opportunity, but you just have to show up to collect for your family, for your loved ones. And he didn't do it. He's a grown man.
Yeah.
Grown man. You're getting into a sport where you can potentially,
And kind of on a different topic, but that's why I don't feel bad. That's why I don't feel bad for the potential Canelo opponents. Guys like Billy Joe Saunders, who are saying, "Oh, I'm not ready to take the fight, so I'm not gonna take it." Or guys like even Oscar has said, I don't know if it's true or not, but that they've offered one of the Charlos a good amount of money to fight, and everybody keeps declining, and everybody's kind of pricing themselves out, right? And that's why I don't feel bad for them when they're just like, "Fuck it, we're not gonna fight you guys then," because. Like we said earlier, at some point or another, you're going to be underpaid.
Yeah.
At some point or another, you're going to be underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you whether you want the opportunity in the ring or not.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm a boxer and they're offering me $1 million to fight Canelo, and if I truly feel like I could beat him, I don't care if he's making $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Because if you do beat him, then all that big money is going to come to you after that fight.
Yeah.
But to me, a lot of those guys just don't believe in themselves, so they want the biggest payday of their lives and then retire happily ever after, Chino Maidana style.
Yeah.
You know?
Man. But yeah, as for Baby Miller, this one was the last one. Shouldn't have gotten opportunities after Joshua, really.
So he should be banned for life, right? We put a poll on Instagram and I believe Twitter as well. Most people said, yeah, ban him for life.
Yeah.
So you agree with
I think
that?
so, yeah.
Ban him for life.
When you get that shot to fight for the World Heavyweight Championship of the world, and you still don't take it seriously,
to throw away.
yeah, you still throw it
It's
away.
a decision.
You're not taking this sport seriously.
In this last one, I heard that he felt like 3 tests for 3 different substances. So at that point, it's just.
To me, it's like people work their entire lives for this title shot, and you swear like they're gonna just throw it away. No, they're gonna.
Hey, be like Andy. Fuck it, don't train, but at least you showed up. You know, at least you showed up.
Show up a little overweight, but show up clean. Shoot.
Yeah.
So what do you have in your system?
Tacos.
Beer and tacos.
Jarritos.
But yeah, that's it.
That's probably the last time we're gonna discuss Big Baby Miller. Banner for life. Be harsh on these type of guys. He's not the biggest name in the sport, so you can make an example out of him.
Yeah.
All right, and like I said, make an example so the guys stop doing that shit.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, but yeah, I think that's all I got, dude. You have anything else?
No, I mean, I know that you were able to connect with other podcasts, you know.
Oh yeah. Of course, I got my shout outs here.
Yeah, you want to talk a
let
little
me
bit
get my
about that?
shout-outs
How was
out
that
there.
experience?
Yeah, before we get to that one, and I forgot to, man, I had some cool graphics here, Virgil Ortiz and stuff. I forgot to put it up, but whatever. I'll just leave it up there because I know you have some footage, and we have a lot of footage on this computer of just footage that you've gotten over the years and interviews and stuff like that I'm barely kind of going over, and it's a lot of files, so it's kind of tough to put them together. But that's one of them at least with the Virgil Ortiz training, and I'll be putting more on Instagram and all that stuff for you guys. Shout out to Chicana Boxing as well, right?
Yeah.
She was there that day. But yeah, let's go to our shout outs, man. First of all, I want to shout out Dr. Ooze podcast. Make sure to follow him at Dr. Ooze. He talks medicine, health, and sports. He's been putting 2 to 3 podcasts out every week, so make sure to check that out. Show him some love. Follow him at Dr. Ooze podcast, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe on his YouTube channel, man. Shout out to Dr. Ooze from the UK, Liverpool fan, right? No, he's not a Liverpool fan. He's not a Liverpool fan. He's an Everton fan, but shout out to him. He lives in Liverpool. And also, shout out to our boy, El Compa Jorge Razo, man.
Hey.
Jorge Razo podcast. You know, he started his brand new podcast. We had the honor and privilege of producing his very first podcast, his very first show, the Jorge Razo podcast, Conociendo a los Músicos. So it's a podcast about musicians and artists, right? He's in a band himself. Yeah. He's a singer, right? And he plays the bass, I believe.
The bass, you know, corridos.
They do Mexican music. So if you guys are into Mexican music, or if you're a musician, make sure to check out the Jorge Razo podcast. The first episode is out, dropped yesterday. The channel as of now is called Jorge Razo. We're going to change it to Jorge Razo podcast, but make sure to check that out, man. It was entertaining. I know you caught the first show, right?
That was fun. I was like, it just feels like a conversation. Like these guys are talking about whatever, like, you know, what they love, which is music, you know, and they do it, you know, bilingual terms. You know, they go from Spanish to English. It just feels like you're with the boys. So that was a fun episode to watch. Check it out.
Yeah, it was fun, and I had a chance to talk about him about where he wants to take it in his vision, and I like his way of thinking, man. So we're gonna keep producing his show, and make sure you guys support. You guys can follow him at Jorge Razo Official. And your cousin was one of the first, the first guest, along with our homeboy from Milliken High School, right?
Big
Chewy McMuffin. It was a funny episode.
It was a good
man.
episode.
It's bilingual, like we said, English and Spanish. So if you guys are into music, Mexican music and things like that, check it out. Jorge Razo podcast, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, again, you know, it's we're at 99.
Yeah.
This is his first, so obviously we know the world traveled. We know how it was the first episode. His was a little bit smoother than our first one, but you know, we just look back and we know that the potential that this has, you know, the platform that we're in. You're talking about something that you're passionate about, that you love, and it's to me it's therapeutic. To Gio, I'm sure it's something similar.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
So I got to see the episode. They were giving you shout outs, giving us shout outs. So we're just happy to be part of it. You know, like anything that we can do to help. It's you know, it's fun. I don't know, we just enjoy it. And so yeah, maybe he can walk one of these fighters, you know, one of these days, right?
Yeah.
The local shows. Hire Jorge Razo
Yeah.
for your walkout music. But,
Yeah, I didn't realize how big they were really in the music. Obviously, they're like local musicians, but they also go out on tour and play for some of the big musicians in the Mexican genre. So, you know, around the United States. So that was pretty cool. They were talking about like going to New York and Chicago and Washington and Oregon. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Kind of opened my eyes to a different type of world. But no, it was very fun, and that's part of the AtR entertainment brand that we're trying to push now, right? Yeah. Not just doing a podcast, but producing podcasts for others and kind of helping out in whatever we can. So yeah, I know Jorge was very excited about it, and I was excited for him, man, because it was a good first show, and more to come for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for the second episode, the third, the fourth, the 50th, the 100th. So yeah, I know it's gonna catch fire. So yeah,
definitely. Shout out to Sean who just checked in. He said he's late. It's all good, brother.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That's why things like DAZN exist, right?
Replay.
For streaming.
Yeah.
Thank God for YouTube. But yeah, Berlanga's up next. And we're about to sign out pretty soon, Chris. We're an hour and 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
Right. We wanted to keep it like 45 minutes. Just keep it short. And just talk about the things that had been going on in boxing recently. How do I get signed to AtR Productions? Just give us a call, Sean.
Give us a call, Sean.
Just Boxing Live, starring AtR Productions.
Hey, shout out to Sean. I know he was doing some things.
Yeah.
You know, for the committee at large. So yeah, shout out to Sean. I know he's doing good things, big things, and we can't wait to have you on, bro.
Yeah, I saw they donated boxing gear, from my understanding, boxing gear to the people who have been on the front lines amid this whole pandemic. Gear to kind of help them stay in shape and help them with fitness and things like that. Mm-hmm. So good things from Just Boxing Foundation. It's always great to see that stuff, Sean. So you always put a smile on our faces when we see that type of stuff out of the kindness of your heart. So thank you on behalf of everybody, really.
Yeah. And shout out to Derek. I was surprised. I mean, my family, I don't want to get too much into it, but family,
I was not going to mention. I was going to tell you before the show, but I forgot.
Yeah, family went through some stuff. I won't get too much in detail, but shout out to Derek, one of our most loyal, you know, followers. I was surprised to see that he made a donation, so that really tugged at me. So shout out, Derek. You're a real one, bro. We love you, man. We can't wait to have you, you know, still commenting when we're 200, 300 episodes in, bro. So shout out to Derek. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Much love. If we make it one day, you guys are all coming with us. Because, Derek actually messaged us through the Against the Ropes Instagram, and he wanted to make the donation. He couldn't find a way to do it, so he kind of reached out and said, hey, how can I get this money to you guys? And then I had found a link that I sent to him. So
so that's how you got it. I was surprised. I was like, how did he find it?
Hey, he'll find a way. There's a will, there's a way.
Because I didn't put it up too much later since I was at work. But okay, hey, bro. Appreciate it, Joe. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
That's how you got it.
I had been meaning to tell you, but I hadn't had the chance. I actually saw that some people shared, people from Milliken shared the GoFundMe link, so that's how I ran into it. But yeah, man, thanks a lot, Derek. You're the man.
All right.
Yeah, let's. Sean says, Calmat are the ones doing big things. We're just trying to help, man. That's what I like about Sean. He always kind of downplays the stuff that he does. But big shout out to you, man. Much respect. If you ever need anything as well from us, let us know. Anything that we can help with. Let us know if we can help. We'll help. If not, we'll try to direct you in the right direction, right? Try to bring other people in to help, but in any way, shape, or form, if we can do anything to help Sean, always let us know. Of course, we'd love to be part of the foundation as well. You know,
Any way we can help.
Since day one. Sean has always showed his love as well as Derek. So thank you guys for everything. And yeah, I think that's all I got, Chris.
That's it, man. I mean, no, we're just happy to have, all the support. This is episode 99. The next one is 100.
Yeah.
It's a big
We're
milestone.
still working on it, guys.
We're still working
on 100. We're trying to get something scheduled. If we don't get the guests that we've been trying to work on, we'll probably just do an episode like this, right? And we'll just probably look back at some of the best moments. But episode 100 is coming up. We're working on it, and we're working on future guests as we speak.
Yeah.
Right. You've been reaching out to people, Chris, and it's all just to scheduling, and hopefully it works. I know you've been busy as well, working, so we're trying to put something together, but. But if we can't get the guests, like I said, that we want,
We'll just
100, you'll be stuck with us. Sorry. But Sean wants Andy Reid's. Oh, man. Mike Tyson. Ooh, we wish. Episode 500, we'll get Mike Tyson. I promise. Get a piñata.
We'll be hotboxing with Mike and his, right?
Imagine that. That'd be cool. But yeah, we're about to head out. We're going to tune into these fights. Berlanga's coming up next. And I think that's all we got, right? For those of you who still are not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Against the Ropes on YouTube. If you're listening to this through Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to subscribe. And follow us. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Against the Ropes. And that's all I got, Chris.
Hey, that's it. Again, just thank you for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Stay safe. Stay safe, and we love you guys.
God now, and I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
Michael, you already know I'm a fun guy.
Hola amigos, soy Juan Francisco AtR. Quiero mandar un saludo para mis amigos de Contra las Cuerdas. Échenle muchas ganas. Un abrazo, muchas bendiciones.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. You know what mine is? Let's box, bitches. It's almost fight night.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you for the support. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. So thank you and best wishes.
Huge shout out to Against the Ropes.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you guys for the interview, and hope to see you guys soon.
Against the Ropes, always doing the right thing.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, taking the time out y'all day.
Against the Ropes, #1.
Freddie Roach.
Thank you very much.